bright out there without it being sunny out. We got all that sun beating down on the snow, whatever sun is poking through. And man, if you're not wearing sunglasses out there, you're going to go blind. I just got back from Walmart. My face is like, yeah. Even with the aftershave, once that cold gets your face after shaving, it's like, I always keep a little bit of hand cream anyway in a little thing like this by my work desk. Especially like, you're working on them, packing up them envelopes with them sports cards. Sometimes it helps to keep the hands moist. So I'm not expecting a lot of people to show up. I'm just bored. So whatever happens, happens, right, folks? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Care if it's how. Snap, crackle, pop. I might do a review later today. I want to go back to the Studio Series Soundwave and condense that review down to at least a 10 to 15 minute video. But that was a fun live stream yesterday. I had a good time doing that. It's like me doing these live streams like I'm doing right now, where I feel completely unplugged. And I could just say what I'm thinking and not have to. I mean, I don't script my videos anyway. I just do a prerequisite in my brain, and whatever happens, happens. So anyway, cheers, everybody. Got to have the standard sugar-free Red Bull. Man, but it's bright outside. It's very bright outside. That's why that's why it's a little off like the way it is, because I got that sun beating down right into my living room here. And it's like a weird bright haze. I don't know if we're going to get any more snow. They're not talking about snow or getting any more snow. But yeah, we got hit with like 12 inches to 14 inches of snow, I think, or something like that. I forget. I don't know. I don't care. Just gives me another excuse to be lazy. But anyway, if you're all new to the channel, thank you for joining this completely ridiculous live stream where it has no point and I'm here just to waste your time. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, check out my eBay store. The link is in the description box below and is also in the description box of every video, short live stream that I do here on YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody, of course, for supporting the channel. We broke 1,450 subs, so that's awesome. So if you're new, do me a huge solid and subscribe. And again, check out my eBay store. The link is below. And hit that thumbs up. Now that the shameless eBeg is done, if you are eBay customers of mine, I got your orders out today. I know there are a lot of people still dealing with this snow and slush and ice. And I'm not talking about the immigration ice. I'm talking about, like, the snow ice. So, we still got a lot of snow and ice and slush outside. The weather warmed up to about, I think it's like 40 degrees today. Alexa, what's the current forecast?
The current weather is 42 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect partly sunny weather with a high of 45 degrees and a low of 16 degrees.
So we're supposed to have a steady warm up to like 50-something degrees towards the end of the week. But yeah, it was quite a shock to see all this snow outside, especially here in Charlotte. I'm a former New Yorker, living here in South Charlotte for the past 10 years as of this year, surprisingly. And I cannot believe you know, what this place looks like when it's snowed over. It looks like something out of a postcard. It was quite remarkable and shocking. I hate the fact that this freaking, I can't control, it's my phone. It doesn't handle the lights proper for whatever reason. It's always flickering and changing colors in the background. So, how's it going, Emma? Welcome aboard. Who else we got in here? Nister, welcome aboard. Mushy Frog, what's going on? Welcome aboard, everybody. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. If you want to know what the channel's all about, this is primarily a hobbyist channel. I talk about Transformers, hats, sneakers, jerseys, sports cards, all that kind of thing. But I like to get away from that stuff sometimes just to kind of mix it up a little bit. You know, I know a lot of people are still dealing with the snow and all that good stuff out there. We still got snow down on the ground here in Charlotte. But thank you, everybody. Thank you to my eBay customers for your most recent orders. I got those out the door. I did do a little bit more food shopping, though I am well stocked. And also, big shout out to my eBay customers for the incredible amount of support you showed to my small business. Because of all of you, I actually used that eBay money to pay my rent in full. I bought about $400 to $500 in groceries with some of that money. Put some money away, of course, because you have to have a little nest egg to put away. I ordered for 3 soccer jerseys to review on the channel, which is good. Got the electric bill paid in. I mean, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, let's get into a little bit of this conversation while we're here. Again, what's going on, Emma? I want to get into the topic if any of you are sports card people or even Pokemon TCG people. That light, I can't take that light changing. It's just too bright outside. My camera's having trouble adjusting. I might have to go au natural here. Sorry about that. Let's see if that changes, because I can't stand that when it orbs like that. Anyway, yeah, so if you're a sports card or Pokemon or TCG folks, it's still orbing. I hate that when it goes bright and dim. There's really no way to balance that. Let me see here. That might do it. Some background light. Sorry about that, folks. There's always some bullshit that happens during my live streams. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about this Packman situation. I might do a separate video just for that. And again, it's still fucking orbing. Come on, man. Mother Nature's trolling me today. That's a little bit better. All right. So if we can finally get this damn live stream going. This is what happened to me yesterday when I was reviewing this guy. My Studio Series Soundwave, which was, this guy is awesome. Oh, you put him next to Studio Series Tankatron or Megatron. Look at these two together. Talking about college buddies, right? But anyway, with that being said, yeah, so, yeah, this whole situation with Packman is kind of like, it's disgusting. And Packman is a box breaker, sports card breaker here on YouTube, and he's got all crazy followers and all this stuff. And he threw a temper tantrum. He threw this huge temper tantrum talking about people not buying his cards. Well, do like what I did. You know, I mean, oh, what's this now? FC Bayern Texas Musical? Why do I need to know that? God. Oh, I can see where this live stream is going to go. I'm going to get trolled left and right. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, he threw a hissy fit talking about people not buying his cards. Hey, jackass, listen to Grandpa here, okay? Grandpa has a little something to say to you. All right, sit on my lap. No, don't sit on my lap. You might like that. I know I don't. But Mr. Packman, sir, junior, I think you're junior to me. It fucking snowed across the entire country. Half the country got fucking buried in snow, dumbass. And he spent all this money and invest. That's why you can't use the word invest in sports cards. Sports cards and investing does not mix. Stop saying that word, invest. All right? It's not gold, it's not silver, it's bullshit. People are trying to turn the hobby into something that it's not. And Packman is the best example of what the hobby should never be. A gold mine. And he threw this temper tantrum because nobody was spending money on his break. Well, do what I do. Open up your own little business on eBay and sell sports card singles. And let me tell you, I have a pretty loyal and dedicated sports card customer base. And right now, I don't expect people to buy things. It has slowed down a little bit, even though I had a couple eBay orders I got out the door today. You have to think about this. If I, as a sports card seller on eBay, are selling sports cards to the masses, and half the fucking country got blanketed in snow, okay, let's just follow the logic here. It's very easy to think. I'm talking to the idiots that like to use the word often. They say it often. It's pronounced often, you unintellectual fucking brainlets. It's the same people that use the term pre-order. There's no such thing as fucking pre-ordering. Either you order it or you don't. You're reserving your place for a future purchase. It's called a reservation, not a fucking pre-order. Dumbasses. So half the country got buried in snow. And if I had to take money from places I didn't want to take money from and go out and buy a couple $100 in groceries and get some of my bills paid ahead of time so I don't get stuck should something happen with the internet or the electric or something like that, I'm ahead of the game. So if I'm doing that to prevent financial hardship based on the storm, do you really think people are going to spend $5,000 on fucking baseball cards and football cards now? I'm lucky I just made about, maybe $80 in sales over the past 7 days, let's just say. I'm lucky. But people right now, they're spending money on rock salt and bread and milk and eggs and shovels and all sorts of shit to get themselves out of this snow. Hey, Packman, are you listening? Little shit. It just snowed. People are spending their money on food to feed their families and to keep the lights on and to keep their homes heated. And you're worried about your precious fucking sports cards? I'm saying that as at this point, I will declare myself being a successful eBay seller. Okay? Slow your penis down just a little bit. Put your penis back in your shorts. I know you get rock hard. The excitement of going on whatnot. I got to sell my sports cards, man. It just snowed, dickhead. It just snowed. People were forced to go out and buy groceries and buy supplies and soup and batteries and all this crazy shit. Just in case the power went out or they didn't have enough food for their families. And you're worried about pictures of fucking men? I sell pictures of fucking men. But I'm not berating my audience, forcing them or bullying them to buy my stuff. I know my audience. At least I presume to know my audience. Most people are blue collar, they're older, they're wiser, they're a little bit more intelligent than that. They're not just going to throw away their money because some young asshole said, you must buy my cards. And then to bully your audience and shaming your audience, is it no wonder why people like me come out and say, fuck you? It's sad. It's very sad, folks. I paid my rent with my eBay sales from January. The rent is already in process. Again, thank you for that. That's on top of my regular income. And I supplement my income because I'm on a fixed budget, and I fought long and hard for that. But I can't berate my customers. Listen, I know what it is to go through hard times. I know what it is not to be able to rub two nickels together. I watched my father, may he rest in peace, what he did for us when he lost his job throughout his entire career back in the 80s and 90s, what he did. And I've learned those life lessons. Appreciate every goddamn penny you get. You should be lucky you can sell sports cards on fucking whatnot and all that kind of stuff. And Packman and Jeff Wilson and all of his ilk that are out there flexing 5,000, 10,000. Look at me, I'm opening $20,000 boxes of baseball cards. Well, if you get fucking robbed by a bunch of skinny kids and hoodies and hammers, well, you deserve it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You deserve it. Don't flex. Even I'm guilty of this sometimes. I have to bring it back down to planet Earth because, well, in my home here, I run a business. But here in North Carolina, whether the it, what, who, fat, black, trans, guilty, white, liberal, septum ring wearing fucking pigs will tell you with their wee-wees duct taped to the side of their legs, dressing up like girls, and the girls dressing up like guys, stuffing socks in their drawers with no breasts, okay? Let me tell you something. This is a pro two-way state. If you try to smash and grab in my home, I have the right to run out your life meter. I'll say that for YouTube's sake. North Carolina General Assembly number 14-52.1.2 and .3, the stand your ground law on top of the Second Amendment. But here, the stand your ground law is very specific. And then you wonder why people in the sports card hobby, Dan the Card Man and everybody else calls out this bullshit. You are turning the sports card hobby from something that was innocent. It was like collecting stamps, collecting coins, collecting toys. Collecting toys. Come on, Megs. Face the right way. There you go. Collecting toys. Collecting hats. Collecting sneakers. It's supposed to be meant for escapism. To get away from life's bullshit, man. There's too much bullshit in this world. That's why you don't see me wearing MAGA hats and Trump hats and Charlie Kirk hats anymore. Because there's too much bullshit in this world, folks. It's too much bullshit. There's just way too much bullshit in this world. And that's why I don't wear my political stuff anymore, because it's too much bullshit. It's overwhelming. And that little rectangular box that's sitting in front of me right over here, it's designed to emotionally bankrupt you, to force you to choose a side. I choose not to give a shit anymore. I made my business here at home. I choose my team to support. I choose when to turn the lights on and off. I choose when I want to make money and when I don't want to make money. I understand my business now. I know my audience for the most part. I know my eBay customers for the most part. Most of my clientele are probably either 10 years younger, my age, or 10 years older. That demographic, somewhere in there, okay? They're very smart, very wise, very intelligent. You know, the feedbacks that I've been seeing on eBay, I appreciate all that kind of stuff, you know, because I get it. What it is to be fucked over and stabbed in the heart and stabbed in the back and lied to and betrayed and scammed. I was homeless for a year, you know, over 10 years ago before I moved here to North Carolina. When that 9/11 money started coming in, I started my own business. It was the best thing I ever did. I got myself off of food stamps. Who the fuck wants to be attached to fucking EBT? Who wants to be attached to fucking EBT? I had to pay back Mecklenburg County $3,500, which I did in full via cashier's check, and I've been free of the system ever since, with the exception of my primary income. I don't have to do this. I do this because not only does it boost my self-esteem, it keeps me occupied, it keeps me emotionally focused, keeps me out of the trouble and the nonsense outside my door, and I'm making a little extra money in my pocket. Not making $1 million, but doing okay for myself. And I could stop anytime. But at least say thank you. Don't you fucking sports card TCG Pokemon asshats know how to say thank you to your audience? Say thank you, dumbasses. If it wasn't for your audience and your customer base, you probably wouldn't have a fucking slice of cheesecake in front of you right now. Idiots. When I saw that rant, it's the same thing like Dark Side Phil does. The same shit. People don't have to pay you to play a video game. You play a video game because you want to. And if people like what they see, they'll support you. I have multiple customers coming back multiple times. I messaged several of them to be honest with my customer base. You guys have seen the photos and the videos and the YouTube shorts. There's piles of snow like this outside my door. Never happened here in Charlotte. Well, at least it hasn't happened in many moons. And I let my customer base know, and they appreciate that sort of thing. It's good for business. You got to be honest with your customers. You do something out of line, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they will come after you with pitchforks and fucking tiki torches, man. Let me tell you, you don't fuck with the people. There's an old saying: never bite the hand that feeds you. Never ever bite the hand that feeds you, folks. And Packman did this unhinged tirade that you got to buy the cards. Darkside Phil does the same shit. You people don't have to watch this live stream. You don't have to support the channel. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to buy my sports cards, but many of you do. I must be doing something right. I know I'm going to have my haters. I know I'm going to have my detractors. I know there's people that wish death on me and want to see me fail. There are people that have tried to see me fail. And every time I've gotten it, at least people have tried to get me into trouble, I've been able to brush it all off and still have an unstained reputation, as much as people have tried, by calling federal agents on me and an illegal immigrant girlfriend and all that kind of shit. I've been falsely accused of being a racist and all this nonsense. I've gone through it all. There's nothing at this point that can't faze me. But at the end of the day, I still stand at the tip of the summit, whether people like it or not. But that's not me bragging. That's a matter of fact. But you got a lot of these shady characters out there, folks. You know, even today, I made that YouTube short about my recent eBay orders that, you know, they could potentially be late. Obvious fucking reason. My eyes don't lie. It's like when I see a man wearing a dress with a septum ring and a worse beard than I had, past tense, before I shaved today. Wants to convince me that that creature is a fucking woman when it's clearly not. It's a cross-dressing genetic freak show. You know, my eyes don't lie. I see snow. That means there are going to be delays at the post office. I'm expecting all kinds of deliveries between this week and next week. And I'm getting late notices across the board. Why doesn't Pac-Man open up his fucking eyes, if he can open up his eyes, and take a look outside the fucking door, or look outside your window and tell me what all that white stuff is on the ground for half the country that are still coated in snow? Dumbass. And this is why the hobby sucks. This is why the sports card hobby sucks. You know what I appreciate about the Transformers hobby? For example, here we have Tankatron, Studio Series 86 Megatron. You know what's good about Tankatron? Even Optimus, who's sitting right here. One of my favorite Optimus Primes of all time, Studio Series Optimus, that I upgraded. And I just did that live stream review of this guy, Studio Series Soundwave. This thing's fucking awesome. I love this thing. They are just getting better and better with these figures. He didn't come out all that long ago. There are knockoffs out there already. There are knockoffs of this guy out there already. Point being is that if there was a way to promote knockoff cards, I guarantee nobody would participate in box breaks or any of that bullshit, because people will get their fix. Why do you think people go out? I got Nike Air Jordans. You guys have seen my Jordan collection, I'm sure, here on the channel, if you're regular viewers, right? People buy reps because they don't want to pay some asshole 3X or 4X what sneakers cost. If a pair of sneakers retails for $210 and then some uneducated high school dropout welfare baby goes out there and spends $1,000 on a dozen pairs of shoes and then tries to flip one pair of shoes for $600, why do you think people go and buy reps? And now reseller asshole is stuck with all these sneakers, just like what happened with Cool Kicks. Good. Fuck them. Good. The same thing should happen with box breakers. It should happen with Pokemon TCG fucking people. It should it happens with the Transformers sometimes, surprisingly. But enough is enough, and people are fed up of being robbed, swindled, and cheated on. Cheated, I should say. Excuse me. As you know, I don't script anything. This is just right off the top of my head. People get tired of being ripped off, scammed, conned. I got what, 6 or 7 fucking false claims that baseball card orders didn't reach their destinations. But then when I go through the tracking numbers on my eBay account, delivered, then they file false claims. And so far, I think I got 2 more now. 5 were beaten as of recent. So I got 2 more that I need to defeat, because it clearly shows the cards are delivered. One of which I just sent last week. How the fuck are you already filing a claim for a card that I just sent out? Because people are trying to get something for nothing. And I've learned how to file counterclaims against such things. So far, it's been a sweeping success. This country is turning into one giant red, white, and blue stroke job. One big red, white, and blue con job where nobody wants to fucking work. Anybody wants to come after me and say, well, you're not working. This is my job right here. Not social media. This is a bonus for me. This here is what I do. I don't have to do this with my sports cards, but I do. And it boosts my self-esteem. It keeps my mind occupied. It teaches me a little bit more about business, how to be a little bit more business savvy, how to network with people, how to connect with people, you know, all that kind of stuff. You learn the odds and ends of, well, unfortunately, taxes. But, you know, you learn all of this stuff. But you got unenlightened PlayStation 5 yo-yo bees. What's up, y'all? Yeah, what's up, y'all? Selling Pokemon out of the back of their cars like fucking marijuana dealers. That's what we got out there, folks. And we got the same shit in the sports card hobby. Shame on Packman. It's very disgusting, folks. Let me put a little cream on my face. I did shave today. I put on some shaving cream. Oh, not shaving cream. Aftershave lotion, and it's not doing shit. I can kind of feel my face like, eh. You know, and I'm sorry for the tirade, but you got to call a spade a spade. Call a spade a spade. The sun is the sun. A cat is a cat. A piece of wood is a piece of wood. A coin is a coin. A tire is a tire. And people just don't want to fucking see things for what they really truly are. They want to make up bullshit. You know, and then you got guys like Jeff Wilson. Look at us opening $20,000 boxes of... And then what about you? The normie like me. Yeah, I've opened... I think the most expensive boxes of cards I ever opened up were Breakers Delights. I'm not doing that no more. And that's because I pay attention to something called economics. Shrinkflation is a thing. Paying more money for less product. That's why I didn't buy up until 2024 Topps update. I stopped buying wax. That's why I didn't buy chrome. That's why I didn't buy any mega boxes or blaster boxes or anything like that in 2025. 2026 looks like it's going to be the same for me because I just don't see... This hobby is getting worse. The sports card hobby is getting worse and worse and worse. It's not fun. It's not fun. You know, I remember, you know, the very few times my dad ever sat down and took out the baseball cards, which I now have in my possession since his passing. You know, he flipped through the pages of those cards and say, hey, look at this, look at this. They placed sentimental value on that, not monetary value. Yeah, things do appreciate in value over time. But as soon as you open up a box of 2026, $1,000, put it on eBay, quick, hurry. I waited to sell off some of my slabs for about 1 to 2 years before I started selling them. Give them fucking time to sit. You know, what do you want to do? I mean, I know my people, my ancestors, the Germanics, you know, they still eat it to this day. It's called tatar, beef tatar. You know, do you really want to eat a plate of raw steak at this point in time? Let it fucking cook. Let it marinate for a little bit. That's why certain cards I waited for a while before I sold them off on eBay. Give things fucking time, you know? And plus, as time goes on, I know where my interests are. I'm starting to lean more towards junk wax now because modern and ultra modern, fuck that, man. As soon as these guys pull a card out of the box, it's already up on eBay. And what's even worse is that normies like me can't get the shit. Many of you are viewers and subscribers of the channel. If you were around when I tried to get Topps Sapphire 2 years ago, $900 for 2 boxes was taken out of my account, and then it was put right back in because I'm not a fucking pro breaker. I didn't sign that job application that Fanatics and Topps put out. Kind of like the one that I'm sure Packman signed and Striker and all these other breakers have done. They're allocated shit first, and then you're left with the crumbs. You're left to clean up the crumbs. And then you have to go to these fucking assholes to buy singles, which sucks. So instead of having the joy of pulling a card yourself, having it graded yourself, you got to depend on some asshole out there. That goes for me as well. You can say that about me, arguably. I am selling sports cards. But at least I try to negotiate with my customers a little bit. I've even had people send me their damn medical bills. I definitely don't want to see that. Don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. You don't have to prove anything to me. Just come correct. Don't be an ass, because I've had to block certain people from my eBay store for very, very crass business practices and comments and arguments and stuff like that. You know, if you don't come correct, if I interpret you as being a rude schmuck, well, you're going to be blocked. It's that simple. And I'm not going to do business with you. But those that I have had negotiations with, they've gone well. They've gone pretty good. You know, I'll come a little bit underneath what I'm looking for based on the prices that I see for that one particular card. And everybody's happy. I get money in my pocket. You get the card you're looking for. Everybody's happy. You know, and I can't expect people to buy my cards every day. You know, and that's the thing here that really reveals itself. It's the specter behind the sports card hobby that, you know, just because you have a breaking business, you automatically assume people are going to buy into your breaks. Look outside your window, dumbass. Right, Packman? Half the country got pelted with snow. Maybe they don't have the money and can't afford even one of your cards. $5,000 break! Fuck your breaks. Do like what I do. Sell singles, dummy. Everything's about fucking instant money these days. How about you work for it? Even in the sports card hobby, you have to work for that fucking money. Not everybody has $1,000 to just throw away on sports cards. The arrogant presumption that you're buying all this money, therefore you expect all this money in return. Life is fucking risk. Life is risk. I took a risk when I left New York. When everybody stabbed me in my fucking heart like them Star Wars homos and them Freemason fucking weirdos and all that shit, and people that I thought were my fucking friends, I said enough is enough. I'm not gonna let myself fall apart like this. You know, and still I had people trying to fuck with me here. And no matter how many times they tried to fuck with me here, I still stand on top. You keep going. You keep pushing. You keep moving. Yeah, you're going to fall on your face. It's painful. It's hard. It sucks. It's emotional, but you keep going. When I finally started getting that 9/11 money, what did I do? I gave money. I bought stuff for my dad because I didn't realize how sick he was, but I bought stuff for my dad because he's my dad, past tense, when he was alive. You know how appreciative he was to receive a shaving thing for his face? I bought him a Norelco 3-blade shaver for his face because he was in a wheelchair. Couldn't stand in front of a sink, and plus he was slipping. Little did I know that after the fact that he was suffering with Lewy body dementia and all these other health issues. I already knew he was sick, but I didn't know how sick he was. My mom got money, my brother, my sister. The rest of the money, I paid off as many debts as I could, and then the rest I put into this little sports card business of mine. It was a risk. I've been doing it now. This June will be 2 years I've been doing this now. It's been hit and miss. It comes in surges. I'll get people ordering one sports card. I'll get people who won't order sports cards. We're talking day to day. So one day I'll have one order. Then I'll have another day I won't have any orders. And then all of a sudden I'll have a surge of fucking 15 orders. Like today, I over the course of the weekend, since Saturday, I had maybe 8, 9 orders. Some I forgot how many were in that most recent order I just got out. But I'm grateful for even one order. I'm not going to say go screw you people. You know, you have to, you must, you should. I mean, it's pathetic, man. Be grateful you even get $1 out of that. And if you took a risk and it's failing, you are the reason why. You're not. When you made that, when this Packman kid, and I'm going to call him a kid because I'm sure I'm much older than he is. I'm pushing 50. Okay. This kid, you got to learn decorum. You got to learn how to be a gentleman. You have to learn about business and how to communicate with people. Even on this channel, it was suggested to me, and that's, you know, when there were issues a couple months ago where I live, I'm not going to get into it. I want to thank the maintenance staff and the leasing office and all that kind of stuff. Everything is done and settled, and we're on good terms, and everything's okie dokie as it should be. You know what I mean? But everything is risk. Everything's about taking a chance. Everything's about, throwing your cards on the table and seeing how it turns out, man. You're going to win and you're going to lose. God knows I've lost a lot in my life, but I've also won in other areas as well. And this Pac-Man, the dude, like what fucking Dark Side Phil does, this DSP dick that I see out there, you got to be fucking kidding. To berate your audience because they didn't buy sports cards off of you? Fuck you. Thank you to my customers for paying for my rent. You guys bought me the Bugs Bunny 8 retro Air Jordans that I showed on the channel. Technically, you bought this for me. You paid my rent this month. You put food in my refrigerator. I paid 2 months worth of my electric bill. The next one in line is my annual renter's insurance and then my car insurance for this month. And I might even have enough to pay for next month because of my sports card sales, because of you folks. I'm grateful for that. Show it. Express it. Let the people know that are trusting you with their money to send them product, that you're grateful that they're doing that. And most content creators and these box-breaking assholes don't give a fuck. They just want your money. That's all they care about. They're not collectors. They're not collectors. At heart, they are not collectors. They buy a thing to sell a thing. It's the pathetic fucking Target and Walmart scumbags and the Costco dicks that you got to worry about. Those are the ones that are taken away from the true collector. And Pac-Man is the best example that we have now at this point in time. And if you go back to him and buy more cards knowing what his true motives are, then you're a fucking sucker. Because you have to have that card. Because you want to show it off and flex it. I'm guilty of this sometimes here on the channel, showing off high-profile cards. You all know I got a Griffey Jr. rookie, Shohei Ohtani batting. I got my Don Mattingly rookie. I got a handful of slabs that I kept. Plus, I got my dad's Mickey Mantle. I got his Whitey Ford. I've got his Hank Aaron. You know what I mean? But I'm grateful for that. Those are more family heirlooms. I mean, well, the Shohei and the Don Mattingly and the Griffey are my cards. But you know what I mean. But these guys are flexing $20,000 box breaks and all this bullshit. I'm like, guys, not everybody has the fucking money to lay that out. Some people just want to have fun. Some people just want to open up a box of cards because they're dealing with family problems. Look at what I went through in 2025. 2026 has been a completely different ballgame. Right out of the gate since Christmas, everything has turned around for me. Thank God. I hope it stays this way. I do not care to repeat 2025 over again. But it's meant for you to sit there. I'm going to grab these cards here and just, for some people, they don't want to sell cards. They just want escapism. They like the stats on the back of the cards. They like the skill of certain players. Maybe it's a young kid that wants to grow up to be one of these guys. They're not interested in the price of the card. You idiots are. And I'm talking about the breakers and the flippers. I have my personal collection of cards, and everything else I'm selling off. I have that right. But at least with me, I'm as transparent as you can possibly get when it comes to this stuff. And I try to be relatable to my audience. I try to be relatable to my customers. You know, again, like I said, do I look rich? This is a 1-bedroom apartment I live in, and I do the best I can with what I've got. You know what I mean? It's nothing fancy. As long as I got a bed to sleep in or sleep on, can't sleep in a bed. I got running water, got a place to shit and shower, plenty of food in my refrigerator. I got 2 refrigerators. I have a little one in my bedroom. I got the big one out here. Plenty of clothes to wear, plenty of sneakers. Just, there's nothing fancy. But these guys want to create the illusion that, you know, they're fucking Logan Paul. And that's a whole other ordeal with that Pokemon Illustrator bullshit. That Ken Golden cracked that slab and re-slabbed it in some weird looking shit. It's a scam. Why do you think they tighten up the standards of these PSA cards? Because they know nitwits like you who get PSA 9s who are so obsessed with profit are going to chase down these 10s. You're willing to pay to pay PSA twice, if not 3 times, until that one card comes back a PSA 10. By that time, you've already pumped $100 into that card plus shipping, just to get that 10. Really? Is that 10 really that worth it to you? That's why the junk wax era looks so much more appealing, doesn't it? And you other idiots that are out there who hype buy, unless these people win awards like Paul Skeens, Cy Young Award winner, guaranteed shoe into the World Baseball Classic. He's definitely looking like Hall of Fame material if he doesn't get Tommy John. Shohei Ohtani, no explanation needed. Aaron Judge, no explanation needed. Andrew Jones just got in. I wish Don Mattingly would get in, but, you know, he gets snubbed. It's like Belichick recently getting snubbed in the NFL Hall of Fame. I mean, how much more do you have to do? But those are players and or coaches, as far as their cards are concerned, to invest in, because they are already achieving things. They are already winning awards and all sorts of stuff. But no, look out, here comes Cooper Flagg. Buy everything! Idiots. Watch what happens next year. Look at Victor Wembanyama. Everybody was on that hype train. CJ Stroud. Puka Nacua. But I have to have it because everybody else has it because the YouTube guy said so. Idiots. I need Puka Nacua because a guy on YouTube told me to buy it. Dopes. That's why I sold off my CJ Strouds, my Puka Nacuas. I learned my lesson after listening to the asshole turn inside out Jeff Wilson. Man, I had a Spencer Jones orange out of 25 Mojo refractor from Bowman Chrome Prospect. That thing I probably paid like $500 or $600 at the time. It was a SGC 10. I sold it for like $300 because I listened to fucking Jeff and his dumb advice. Spencer Jones is never going to get out of the fucking minor leagues because when you got, especially now with Cody Bellinger out there, you know, you got Jason Dominguez, you know, the Martian, he's out there. You got Aaron Judge until he retires. Who knows when that's going to happen? When you got giants like that, I mean, Jason Dominguez has been kind of hit and miss. But, you know, they have a solid outfield. You really think Spencer Jones or even George Lombard? I had a George Lombard auto because I stupidly listened to fucking Jeff Wilson. And the two of those guys are stuck in the minor leagues. You ever think they're going to escape that prison? Probably not. Look at how long it took Jackson Holliday to finally keep his spot with the Baltimore Orioles. I think it was an orange shimmer out of 25 Bowman Chrome out of 25 PSA 10. I got half back what I paid into it because I listened to the fucking hype. I listened to the hype. Stop hype buying. Go after Hall of Famers. Go after Tom Brady's, obviously Michael Jordan. Go after guys like him, Nolan Ryan. Jeez. But anyway, folks, I'm going to call it right there. I'm going to have some lunch. Well, it's 3:30. We're almost approaching supper time right now, but oh well. Listen, but thank you everybody for joining this live stream. It's just really, really frustrating when I see this stuff. It's very, very disheartening that people immediately, like good little lemmings, they'll follow the leader off the cliff when it comes to this type of stuff. I have my cards that I want. I've got my bucket list cards. I always wanted a Griffey. I got one. Wanted a Shohei batting. I got one. Wanted a Don Mattingly rookie. I got one. You know what I mean? I unexpectedly pulled a Barry Bonds auto. I had his rookie card. I sold it because now I have the auto. I got a Paul Skeens right out of 5, which is why I sold off the yellow foil PSA 10 recently. I could see Paul Skeens going a long way. He's one of the only few modern cards I kept in slabs, or in a slab, I should say. Everybody else, I think it's hype. The only one I may regret is Corbin Carroll. I sold off my last Corbin Carroll refractor parallel out of 5 recently. That's one I'm definitely going to regret. I got a feeling. But everything else, with all the autographs I got that I can submit for grading, we'll see what happens with those. But then again, my priority soon, sometime this year, I would definitely love to do it before the summer, is get my father's vintage slabbed up. We'll see how that turns out. But for right now, folks, don't buy into the hype. If you can get sports card boxes on your own, do it. Don't buy don't buy jumbo and hobby boxes off of eBay. Let these people choke. Let them choke on their own splooge. Serves them right. That's why the sneaker space, sneaker culture died. Hey, man, I'm happy I get my shoes at retail. The only one that I overpaid for were the 2025 white cement 4s. I overpaid for those. Only because I didn't feel like going out. That's just laziness on my part. I paid for convenience. But I got almost all my shoes at retail. Don't buy into it, folks. It's all bullshit. It's a sales pitch. Are we literally turning into the fucking Ferengi where everything is for sale? It's like that episode of the Transformers with Snake in season 3.
I don't know, Mr. Draft. This is the world. Everything is for sale.
It's like everything is for sale. But anyway, I'm going to get something to eat, folks. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this afternoon live stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Again, check out my eBay store. The link is in the description box of every single video, short and live, that I do here on YouTube. I might go back and do a shortened, abridged version of a review of Studio Series Soundwave. This guy is just epic. He is, man, I've really, really come to admire this figure. He's really good. I got to say, when you put him, Optimus Prime, and Megatron, when they come out with the Studio Series figures like this, Hasbro should just stick with this formula. It works. But I understand that people don't have those kind of budgets, but they still want cool action figures. That's why Hasbro makes things like this. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it an afternoon. I'm going to sit here, probably go through YouTube, make some lunch. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. I am your host, the Carolina Collector. I will speak to you all very, very soon.